Triple H just made heartbreaking announcement. Rhea Ripley survives devastating car accident. What if I told you that mommy just faced the scariest moment of her entire life, and it had absolutely nothing to do with anyone in the locker room? Smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell right now, because WWE Extreme is about to break down a story that has the entire wrestling world in absolute shock. Triple H just delivered news that nobody wanted to hear, and the gravity in his voice said everything before he even finished his first sentence. We're talking about Rhea Ripley, the Eradicator, the woman who dominates everyone and everything in her path, facing a car accident so severe that doctors are calling her survival nothing short of miraculous. This isn't some worked storyline or elaborate angle to write her off television. This is real life. This is terrifying. And this is why the entire WWE Universe is holding its collective breath right now. Let me paint the picture for you, because the details are absolutely gut-wrenching. Rhea was driving back from personal appearance, minding her own business, probably blasting some heavy metal and thinking about her next conquest in the ring, when out of nowhere a vehicle ran a red light at full speed and slammed directly into the driver's side of her car. We're not talking about a fender bender or some minor collision. We're talking about the kind of impact that crumples metal like paper, that deploys every airbag in milliseconds, that turns a routine drive into a fight for survival in the blink of an eye. Emergency responders arrived on the scene to find Rhea's vehicle so badly damaged that they initially feared the worst. The jaws of life had to be used to extract her from the wreckage, and witnesses at the scene reported that it looked like something out of an action movie, except this was horrifyingly real. Rhea was conscious but clearly in serious pain, showing the kind of toughness that honestly should not be possible given the circumstances. While paramedics worked to stabilize her, she allegedly asked about the other driver first, making sure everyone else involved was okay before focusing on her own injuries. That is the definition of a real-life hero right there, folks. Triple H's announcement came with visible emotion that we rarely see from a game. His voice cracked slightly as he explained the severity of the accident, the extent of Rhea's injuries, and the long road to recovery ahead. He made it clear that WWE's priority is Rhea's health and well-being, that all storylines and championship considerations are completely irrelevant compared to making sure she gets the care and time she needs. You could tell this wasn't just a boss talking about an employee. This was family talking about family, and the raw emotion in that moment hit different. Now let's break down what we actually know about Rhea's injuries, because the medical report is both relieving and concerning at the same time. She suffered multiple fractured ribs, a broken collarbone, severe bruising throughout her torso from the seatbelt and airbag impact, and a concussion from the force of the collision. Doctors have emphasized that while these injuries are serious and will require extensive recovery time, they could have been catastrophically worse. The fact that Rhea is alive and expected to make a full recovery is genuinely miraculous given the violence of the impact. Her vehicle absorbed most of the collision force, modern safety features did their job, and Rhea's incredible physical conditioning likely played a role in her surviving what would have killed someone with a less robust frame. But here's where things get even more intense. The driver who caused the accident was allegedly under the influence, turning this from a tragic accident into a criminal matter that is now being prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Driving under the influence is not a mistake. It is a choice, and that choice nearly killed one of WWE's biggest stars. The anger in Triple H's voice when he mentioned the circumstances was palpable, and you can bet WWE's legal team is ensuring that justice is served. Rhea herself has not made any public statements yet beyond a brief social media post thanking fans for their support and promising to come back stronger than ever, because of course she did. That is peak Rhea Ripley energy right there. The wrestling community absolutely exploded with support the moment news broke. Every single wrestler from WWE, AEW, Impact, New Japan, you name it, sent messages of love and support. Dominic Mysterio, her on-screen Judgment Day partner, posted an emotional message that had fans tearing up. Becky Lynch, someone who has shared the ring with Rhea in absolute classic matches, expressed her relief that Rhea survived and her confidence that the Eradicator will come back even more dangerous. Even legends like Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock chimed in with messages of support, proving that when tragedy strikes, the wrestling business becomes one united family. What makes this situation particularly heartbreaking is the timing. Rhea has been on an absolute tear lately, putting on incredible matches, elevating everyone around her, and solidifying her status as one of the most complete performers in the entire industry. She was in the middle of a championship run that had fans completely invested, with storylines building toward major moments at upcoming premium live events. And then this happened, this completely random and senseless act of another person's reckless behavior that has nothing to do with wrestling, but everything to do with how fragile life actually is. One second you are on top of the world, the next you are fighting for your life in a crumpled vehicle waiting for emergency responders to cut you free. The outpouring of fan support has been absolutely overwhelming in the best possible way. Social media platforms crashed multiple times from the sheer volume of messages being sent to Rhea. Fan art, tribute videos, prayer chains, and messages of encouragement flooded every corner of the internet. The hashtag supporting Rhea trended globally for days, with millions of people from around the world expressing their love and support. It demonstrates the genuine connection between performers and audiences, how invested people become in these larger-than-life characters who entertain us weekly. When someone we admire faces real danger, the response is visceral because we recognize the human being behind the persona. WWE has announced that Rhea will be taking an indefinite leave of absence to focus entirely on recovery. And honestly, that is exactly what needs to happen. There is no championship defense worth our you. As we wait for updates on Rhea's recovery progress, the wrestling world remains united in support. WWE has set up ways for fans to send messages of encouragement, and the response has been overwhelming. Rhea will have no shortage of motivation during the difficult rehabilitation process because millions of people around the globe are rooting for her comeback. And when that comeback happens, when Mommy walks down that ramp again with her signature confidence and intensity, it will represent more than just a wrestler returning from injury. It will symbolize triumph over tragedy, a survivor reclaiming her life and her career against odds that would have ended most people. Thank you so much for watching WWE Extreme. We are all just incredibly grateful that Rhea Ripley is alive and fighting, and we cannot wait to see her back where she belongs.